Greetings. Happy Sunday. Peace and blessings. I am the Moon Mama. So, today is the day governed by the sun. The sun is the generating force, generating whatever it is, the generating machine at the center of our solar system. And it has been doing what it has been doing for billions of years, which is a mind-blowing thing to me when I think about it, like something doing the same thing for billions of years. Like, this system we're in is really remarkable. It really is the most remarkable thing if you try to wrap your mind around it, because that's not what's happening. But the sun is in Libra, and so we are in the throes of relationship time and kingdom and reflections and mirrors and really understanding your dynamic with others. Today, the sun is in opposition to Chiron, the wounded healer, which is in Aries, and Mars is in Aries retrograde. So these are really dynamic times and shifts, because really oh gosh, I always feel crazy saying this stuff out loud, because it is crazy in that we're in energies that we've never been in before, and we're going to be experiencing things in our dimension that we've never experienced before, like this coronavirus thing. Like everyone, this is the first time we've ever had a pandemic worldwide that we're all impacted by, and we are all, making changes and choices around, and how we are with that is up to us. Like, so for me, with this pandemic, I understand that everything is mental, and that if I agree to something mentally, then I agree to it physically. It starts in the mind. So if I believe in illness and believe that I can catch something from someone, then I say, okay, my soul says, okay, then you believe it, then we're going to catch something from someone, and we can do that. But because I don't believe that, I don't catch anything. So how we are with this, consciousness is king now, right? So the universe going forward is all about a consciousness thing. So what you believe is going to be happening rapidly. And the sun in Libra and Mars, our capacity, our will, our embodiment in Aries, which is opposite. Libra is about how we relate to others. Mars and Aries is about how we relate to ourselves. So the two are opposing one another right now. And that shows up differently for every person. You guys are not on the path that I am on. I'm sharing my path with you because that is a part of my path, to share my path. But I'm not telling you to do it the way I do it, because I have Aries in the first house, and my north node is there, and I have Libra in the seventh house, and my south node is there. So that makes this experience very unique for me. I am being asked to really be loyal to myself, really be selfishly loyal to myself, and the work to do that is not easy. And so I'm because in my south node, which is where I have Libra, my desire is to cling to others. So I'm working on shifting that desire to cling to others and to be able to cling to myself. So that's going to be different for you. What you could have Aries in the third house, which would be around your communication. You could have Aries in the ninth house, would be around your global identity and your connection to spirit and religious practices. It's different for everyone, but it is about you being true to yourself and redefining yourself around your relationships to others. The sun in Libra is in opposition to Chiron today. I think I said that a moment ago. Chiron is the wounded healer. And so it's the places in your life where you have abandoned yourself and created wounds because you've overstepped your own guidance. So yesterday I talked about that in my own life, where I have overrode my body, the signals of my body. That's what Mars is. Mars is the actual body and your embodiment, right? And so we're the times in our lives when we have overrode ourselves in order to people please, to make others happy. This is the time where we are beginning to see where we've done that in the past, and then we get to make new choices. It's as simple as that. So will you make a new choice? Will you blame the other person? Like, pay attention to your relationship to others. Like, do you make others responsible for the choices you're making? Do you make others responsible for how you feel? Do you give others, like, God's status in your life? Pay attention to how you are with others. I know for me, I have had a tendency to look for signals about how to feel about myself from others. And that's because I have Mercury and Venus in Libra. So I look to see how I'm doing in my experience with others, and that has been something that has been challenging for me. So I'm working to shift that energy, to move that out of the way, and to become truer to myself without the need to have to get approval from another. So look in your own life and see how you relate to others. Pay attention to your relationships, the stories. You'll see it. It'll show you, and you don't have to guess. It's really fun when you really get it and you're really willing to do it. One of the things that I have learned in my own work is that, I've been in spiritual communities for a long time, and I have seen spiritual teachers up close and personal. One of the things that I have seen is that there's an illusion of perfection, and I've seen spiritual teachers sort of isolate themselves and do this thing that we do in this country where everyone's trying to be perfect, and then I see it. I see, like, oh, they're walking in shit. You know what I mean? Toilet paper's hanging out of their ass. And so one of the things that I do in my own work is make sure that in the work that I do with others, that I always am seeing a teacher, that I am always sitting at the feet of someone, that I never allow myself to get into the mindset, like I've heard teachers say, like, people don't understand me, or no one can get me. Like, all that's ego shit. So I make it my business to sit. Yes, I'm a teacher. Yes, I am a leader in many ways, but I am also a student, and I am also a follower. I cannot be a teacher if I can't be a student. I cannot be a leader if I can't be a follower. And I've seen that mistake in people. I've seen that experience, because there are no mistakes. I've seen it, so I've learned. And, that's one of the ways I relate to power, right? To learn from power. And then also, the sun in Libra is about our marriage partnerships and things like that. And so it's romantic, and everyone loves that energy. And the thing about that energy is that it requires that for me, it requires that I'm interested in love for the sake of love, for the sake of the experience of love, for the sake of living out the definition and the actual experience of love and connection with partners. And what does that mean, right? What is that? Is it this fantasy idea of I'm going to be rescued and somebody's coming, or is it an opportunity to grow and evolve in connection, to see myself on the outside, to have a reflection? One of the things that I know about myself is that my entire life, I have always felt like men are my teachers. And I have always had a really challenging time with it because of what the world has shown forth for Black men. And I have often felt really sad and distracted and experienced their pain because I'm so empathic, right? And I can feel everything in a deep way. And one of the things that I have always known was to never really speak harmful about men. All my life, with all the kind of father I had and all this, I just don't believe men are dogs. I don't believe that they are incapable. I just don't. I just never have. And that has served me really well, because even though I've had very challenging experiences, I have realized that the more I love myself and ride for myself, like really dig in for who I am, the more the men in my life show up the same. So when I have had really challenging times talking to men about who I am and what I do, like I use crystals and I use oil and here's this, and did you look at your astrology on this? Like, I'm that way with the men in my life now, but there was a time when I judged that and thought, like, they're not gonna like it, they're gonna think I'm silly, they think all of this stuff is frivolous, they think it's meaningless. And then I would attract men who would like laugh at it and think it was meaningless. But the more I really get that this is my path, this is who I am, this is valuable, this makes a difference, the more I attract men who come and say, can you explain this to me? What do you think? And would you do a reading? And can you support me in this? So I know in my life, I am reflecting the masculine outside of my own consciousness. The men in my life are showing up as mirror reflections of me. And so the more I am good to myself, the more I love and appreciate and adore myself unconditionally, the more I attract men in my life who do the same. But not only men, I attract women who do the same. People show up that way. The more I am that way with myself, the more others show up that way with me. The moon today is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is about being really true to yourself. It's the same thing, right? It's in a different way. It's like being true to yourself for the well-being of all. Like being an example of what self-love really is in its purest form from the divine. Like, you know, when we think of avatars like Jesus the Christ, like loving yourself so much that you can say the most and live the most mystical, magical lives that people don't understand, but do it in front of them so that they can be inspired by it. It's that, right? And so the work today with the sun in Libra, which is all about partnership, you have this opportunity to love yourself in another. Love yourself in another. Understanding that whatever your balance of energies are, masculine and feminine, I know that I project my masculine energy out. So any man that's in my life is a projection of my own masculine energy. If he's being kind to me or present with me, it's because I'm being kind and present with myself. If he's unavailable and, you know, not able to communicate and not being clear, it's because that's what I'm doing. So pay attention to how that shows up in your own life. If you'd like to do a reading with me to see and understand this stuff for yourself, I'm happy to do that because it can be a little tricky. And the moon in Aquarius is being true to your own divine blueprint. Your own divine blueprint. We are moving into a full moon tomorrow. The full moon is in Aries. Aries has Mars Retrograde and Chiron in it. So you are going to be given the energy to come home to yourself, to make the wound that is in your heartbreak around relationships or not belonging or not feeling like you can have what you want. This is the time to really own that stuff. Stop telling your victim story about it. Ask, because here's the thing, where every problem exists, there is a solution right within it, right within it. So whatever problem you have to be willing to hold it to see the solution be revealed. And ask Source, what's the solution to this? And it'll show. And if you need support, reach out to me and we can book a reading, and we can, you can go look at my profile here, Linktree, and book a reading. You can book a Mars retrograde reading. All right, peace and blessings. Have a wonderful day. I'm the Moon Mama. Bye-bye.